Hello, my friends. Welcome to Denver After Dark, my first Substack. I'm doing this tonight. No editing, just coming right at you. And the reason I wanted to do Denver After Dark without a paywall is because I think I have something still to impart. Even as a former congressman, former J6 tech advisor, owner of a AI machine learning company, which I'm pretty proud of. Couple successful exits as a CEO on some of this. So it's pretty exciting that I'm able to come right to Substack without a paywall, with all the subscribers that came over the last couple weeks, which absolutely blew my mind. And the fact that, you know, I'm trying to do something to save this country as far as imparting facts and data and what I've done in my past. Maybe I still have something to offer. And to the point, I'd almost rather set myself on fire than run for office again. But I'm starting to get there. I mean, we're in a really bad time, aren't we? But I don't want these things to be 30 or 45 minutes where you have to waste your night. And it's called Denver After Dark for a reason. Is that it's going to be like prom night. You're going to learn new things, going to try to execute them, but it's going to be over real quick. So I'm pretty excited about this. And, I own distilleries, right? My wife is a master distiller at Silverback. I know it's hard to see in this Glencairn, but I'm very excited to be here on Denver After Dark. It's a intimate time for me to be with my viewers, my friends, those who want to hang out. So as we move forward, what I'm going to do, and this is my first one, is I'm going to talk about one thing during the day. We're not going to go into everything. I might have some interwoven topics or some things that maybe are related, but I'm not going to waste your time. So let's get right into it here on Denver After Dark. And again, I want to do live chats. We're going to get into it, but I want to do this first one tonight because there's something that's bothering me today, and I hope that this name also bothers you. Hope you're ready. Pete Hegseth. That's right, Pete Hegseth. Found out today after his initial Signalgate controversy, where he probably violated the Records Act and probably violated the Espionage Act when he shared information about secure operations to unvetted individuals like Jeff Goldberg. And thanks, Mike Waltz, for starting that Signalgate chat. You find out he also sent some operational details to his wife and his brother. It's not just incompetence or irresponsibility. I think we've leaped into such rank stupidity, almost to where his stupidity crosses a line into behaviors that could look a little traitorous. Because I know with my background holding multiple clearances and tickets, I'm like the guy you see an enemy of the state. Like I have that many clearances. I had them. I was read in on special access programs. I was TSSCI, TKG, HCS, you name the letters and the tickets. I had them, 7 polygraphs at the NSA. I know of which I speak. And when I talk about Pete Hegseth, you're talking about a nutter, a January 6th conspiracy theorist, a guy who has white nationalist tattoos, an abuser, somebody who is on Fox News. It's funny. I say all these awful things and I say on Fox News like it's equal, and it pretty much is because it's just a propagandist network. Hell, I've been on it enough times. I know. But what is the real danger of crazies like Pete Hegseth making decisions at the upper echelons of government and somebody so ridiculously incompetent and traitorous and ludicrous and off his rocker crazy that even he might be fired? It was reported today. Now, the White House has come out and says it's fake news. That's why I wanted to wait a few hours. I had a feeling because I was in that mess of messaging from the RNC and the National Republican Congressional Committee, the NRCC, where they roll down messaging to support the president's agenda. And I want to tell you guys something. I've been around long enough. If Pete Hegseth goes, it's going to be a few months from now, and it's going to look like a resignation. But the thing I want to tell everybody here in Denver After Dark is I'm going through all of these sort of facts-based things and database things is the scary part of this. Yeah. Who replaces him? And there's couple names that have been running around my head, and the one's going to scare all of you. I want you to think of a name who you think could replace Pete Hegseth for SecDef. Mike Flynn. I know. A nutter. Somebody who I actually consider maybe one of the most contemptible former military officers and human beings I've ever seen. Somebody who threatens people. Somebody who's a J6 conspiracy theorist, believes some of the nuttiest things. I mean, literally off his rocker. Like maybe all that Elmer's glue he sniffed has actually sort of attached itself to his frontal lobe. And I think that's the stuff that we have to worry about. I mean, there's people out there like former General Kellogg, who worked for Vice President Pence. But, those two I think about. I'd rather have Kellogg, but he's a Trump sycophant. But who else? I want you guys to think about it. Who else could replace Pete Hegseth as SecDef? I don't think Trump moves Mike Waltz over from National Security Advisor. I mean, Mike should be fired too. Everybody on that thread should be under investigation. They should be. OPM should be all over him right now. FBI should be all over him. But you got some wide-eyed comic book writer and conspiracy theorist, freak show, right? Kash Patel, right? He's in charge of the FBI. Was Pam Bondi going to do something? I mean, are they going to move anybody from a deputy director position over into SecDef? I doubt it. I think it's going to be somebody maybe chosen by Laura Loomer. Now, that's why I'm sort of wrapping this all up right now. Laura Loomer pretty much directed NSC firings, National Security Council firings around Hegseth and Waltz, and directed Trump, suggested to Trump that Tim Hawk, the director of NSA, is somehow not loyal. And I know Tim. I met Tim when he was an 06, a colonel. You even have Republicans in Congress, Don Bacon, coming out against Pete Hegseth. And I know Don Bacon very well. I served with him. Don Bitts Bacon, retired one-star Air Force general. You have so many people actually are out there that should be SecDef. Certainly shouldn't be Pete Hegseth. But what I worry about, as bad as Pete Hegseth is, it can get worse. And it would. Because anybody who comes in has to actually sign that loyalty oath and go through the idiots that vet them. So what do? We do this. We make sure that everybody knows where you stand. Listen, you got to be confrontational. And I think the facts and data war is house to house. You don't have to be Republican or Democrat to appreciate facts and data. The facts of the matter are this. Pete Hegseth broke the law. Pete Hegseth has done it multiple times. And if he's done it 2 times, he's done it 20 times. And the replacements, like the Mike Flynn's and the Clark Kellogg's, could be just as dangerous or worse because they actually hold more respect based on their prior rank. That's right. They were former generals. And you have somebody like Laura Loomer, who looks like just a bizarre individual, 31 years old, I believe, maybe 32. Maybe one of the nuttiest people I've ever seen making decisions at the highest level of governments. But that's no different than what happened on January 6th and the crazies there, right? Patrick Byrne, the Mike Flynn's, like I said, Rudy Giuliani. We're in a crazy time, folks. So welcome. This is the #1 Denver After Dark. It is free. Get what you pay for, but I've done a lot. I just don't want you to pay for somebody who can actually impart some of this stuff to you, give you some stuff to think about. But it's always about the cascading effect. Remember, in this administration, it can always get worse before it gets worse. Thanks. Welcome. I'll be back. But I just want to talk a little bit about our good friend Pete Hegseth and what a nutter he is. Thanks, and have a great night.